Hello everyone and welcome into the Athletic and Wellness Center. My name is Zachary Phillips and today we have the very first game of the OCAA Women's Volleyball regular season kicking off here in Scarborough. The Centennial Colts are hosting the last year's silver medalists, the Seneca Sting. It's going to be a great matchup here today as the Sting look to keep rolling on from their dominance in the last couple of years. With the Colts having a new look squad out there today, we'll have them introduced here shortly as it is the home opener in the first day of the season here for the Colts. Head coach Andrew Mallory in his third year brought in a lot of new recruits in this year's off season, and the Colts will look to continue to improve as they roll on in their program. Sixth place last year for the Colts. It's going to be a good start to the season here today. Hopefully they can turn it around. When we come back, we'll have opening introductions and our anthem in a few moments.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the home opener of the Centennial Colts. Colts Nation, are you ready? Come on, we can do better than that. Are you ready? That's what I like to hear. If you could please kindly stand and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Introducing Your starting lineup for the Seneca Sting. From Sudbury, Ontario, at 5'10", outside hitter number 2, Emily McDonald. From Winnipeg, Manitoba, 5'10", outside hitter number 3, Taylor Grant. From London, Ontario, 5'5", libero number 5, Debbie Nicholas. From Stony, Alberta, center libero left side, 5'6", number 6, Michaela Patches. From Scarborough, 5'6", libero number 7, BU Ladero. From Blackstown, Alberta, 5'10", middle right side, number 12, Alexa Milone. And rounding out the roster from Etobicoke, 5'11", middle, number 15, Olga Missick.
Welcome, and thank you very much for that electric intro from Sports Information Officer Ryan Miller. Breaking this one open for you here at the AWC. It's the Centennial Colts and the Seneca Sting. I'm Zach Phillips bringing you the solo commentary here today. We're just about ready to kick things off. As I mentioned off the top of the broadcast, we have last year's silver medalists in town, the Seneca Sting, looking to improve on last year's narrow defeat in the championship game. And we're off. I'll read you the starting lineups for the Colts momentarily once we get through this opening set, as that one's into the net from Emily McDonald, and early it's Colts up by 1. This year's captain for the Centennial Colts will be second-year Ava Hamilton from Winnipeg, the libero. You see her out there rocking the number 1. She will take over the leadership duties for this brand new look Centennial Colts team, as Kristen Dawn Ruiz sends that one over, and we've got another early point going the way of the Colts. I believe the net violation coming in from the Sting will send Dawn Ruiz back to the line. Both of the teams' opening game of this 2024-2025 season, kicking things off here in opening day across the OCAA, as that one is a beautiful serve catching a lot of the net, but it goes to the right side if you're a Colts fan. And it's 3-0 off the rip. So with Hamilton out on the court, it's Kristen Dawn Ruiz, you see serving. Catherine Skovich out there as well. She is listed as a libero, but will be doing a bunch of different things for this Colts team this season. As another point, this time going into the net, so Seneca will get a chance to serve. Kristen Recchia, another first year, she'll be in the middle. Farana Rui Malaki, she's out there as well for the Colts starting this year, a returnee, as that one's up way in the air. CL Valoria slams it across, but it goes off the net. And I believe off the outside of that stick, so it'll go the way of the Sting. But that's another member of the Colts returning roster, CL Valeria. Jackie Ranquillo out there as well. Two of the big power hitters of this Colts team. Ranquillo in her third year, Valeria in her fourth, as that's sent right back in the face of the Colts. Alexa Milo is fired up for that one as she stuffs it home to tie it up here. Still early in this first set. And wrapping out the starting lineup for the Colts is Sofia Aruja from Ajax, the 6'3" middle in her second year. And that one is in. Big serve. Oh, they called it out. We'll take a look at the replay here if we have one. I believe that might have just caught the outside of the line. So it will be going the Colts' way. Tough call going the way of the Sting earlier on here, as that'll send Jackie Ranquillo to the line. That one's way long, and the Sting will get the ball right back. So it's a 4-4 back and forth matchup here between last year's 6th seed, the Colts, and the silver medalists from Seneca. Serving now for Seneca, number 6, Michaela Patras. She's in her second year from Stony Plain, Alberta. Sends it over. Big smash from Valeria. And that's something that the Colts fans have missed all summer long, as she picks off right where she's left off in her career with a smash down into some open pay dirt. She was the leading scorer across the whole OCAA last season, CL Valeria. And the Colts are fired up here, off to a hot start, as that's Arujo getting what I believe to be an ace. So we have a 6-4 Colts set here, as a good start for third-year Coach Mallory and his new look team. That one's dug out by Ranquillo. Farana Rui Malaka has that one blocked, but it doesn't come back to the other side of the net, so it'll fall on the Sting half and go the way of the Colts. Big play there by Rui Malaki. She's in her third year with the Colts program from Tehran, as that's a big dig there from the libero of the Sting. Ranquillo easily handles that, puts it up for Dawn Ruiz, who has Valeria handle that over. Big smash there from the Sting, but nice save by Ranquillo, as Valeria keeps it up at the net. Back over to the Sting. And that one's unable to be handled at all. Try that one, said Alexa Milo, as she hammers it down off a good rally. Quick pace here for the opening set of the regular season for both these teams. That one's floated over, handled by Hamilton. Set for Rui Malaki, and that one just out. So it'll go the way of the Sting and bring this one back within one. Centennial had a real up and down year last year. They really showed signs of promise at different parts of the season, but struggled at times as well to have any consistency. That's something they'll be working on earlier on in the season, as that one's hammered and unable to be kept up by the Sting. Valeria off to a hot start here in 2024. Centennial is their only game of this opening week. They'll head to Algonquin next Saturday for a big road trip to Ottawa for 2 there. Meanwhile, the Sting will head to George Brown on Wednesday. So lots of volleyball coming your way early on. That one's up for Hamilton. She'll set it for Ranquillo, and it's just off the top of the net. I don't know if Milo had a hand in that or not, or if it was all net, but nonetheless, it's going the way of the Sting. And that'll send Milo to the line. Milo, 5'10", in her second year with the program. Looking to tie this one up here early. Handled by Rui Malaki. Right back to her, and a nice dig out there by Taylor Grant, but it's unable to be kept up by Patras. Way out of play. Nice job there by Rui Malaki. Who will now go to the line for a serve. That's Emmy Nicholas, the libero, digging these out for the Sting as they get a point off a little bit of miscommunication on the Colts. Emily McDonald from Sudbury now will take the serve. In her second year with the Sting. That one unable to be handled by the Colts. And the back and forth affair continues. Seneca definitely coming into this one as the favorite, given their recent success in the OCAA, but a new year, new look for both teams. Speaking of a new look, that's Kristen Recchia coming in, a first year. Take a look at it. They call a net violation, I believe, and it will be a serve again for Emily McDonald. That one's handled by the Colts. Set for Ranquillo, and it's stuffed, but they're able to bring it back up for another shot. Valeria will just have to send it over. Free ball for the Sting. Good block there from the Colts, and they'll get a point out of it. Take a look at the replay there. It was a net violation called on the Sting, so a few of those early on, but that'll send Recchia to the line. 6'2" middle. Looking to find some open floor. The serve. That's a perfectly placed ball from Recchia for the ace. And it's 11-10 early on here for Centennial. And you have to think Coach Mallory's very happy with this start. His new look Colts off to a great first set here, with back-to-back aces now to go up 12-10. Stick around after this one. We'll have a men's game for you as well between these two teams as the Seneca Sting men's team comes in. That one's a nice job there by Larondo to keep that up. Mayu Larondo, a third year, but ends up going out of play, so it'll be another ace for the Colts. Centennial played a preseason game against Redeemer. They ended up dropping that one 3-1 earlier on this month in a tune-up game against the West, as that one ends up finding the net. So the rally, or the string of points Centennial had put together, will come to an end, but that'll check in Hamilton back on the floor. Hamilton, I mentioned off the top of the broadcast, the new captain for the Colts team, taking over the leadership roles. She'll look to help steer the ship towards the top of the East, as that's a nice job there from Arujo. A big smack there from Taylor Grant, and that fires the Sting up. Take a look at this replay. Big smack. Valeria can't handle that one. And we've got ourselves a back and forth volleyball game here to start out the season. Here comes the serve just over the net. A beauty. That's Mayu Larondo. A nice ace there for the Sting. Larondo, I mentioned in her third year, one of the 2 third years on this Seneca squad, as that one ends up finding, that one's out, so it will go Colts point. The other third year on the Sting roster is Taylor Grant, the outside hitter from Winnipeg. Meanwhile, the Colts have 2 third years and a 4th year, so some veteran presence on the floor here in this matchup. Here's Don Ruiz, sends it way long. And that will tie this one up at 14. So a back and forth set, knotted at 14 here. As you see a makeshift pot and pan coming into town from the Sting, trying to get their crowd going. That's one way to make noise in the crowd. I've seen cowbells, I've seen air horns. That's the first pot and pan I've seen in a while. That one's way long. So that will be Centennial point to go back on top, 15-14. That'll do some substitutions on the side of the Sting as Hart Fortuno had checked in for a moment, but she steps back off. Ranquillo floats this one over. Nice job by Ranquillo to save that one from Patras. Another great keep up there by the Colts. And that one's another block by Centennial, and they'll win this rally off of 3 great defensive plays. Great defense from Centennial. A big block there coming in from both Valeria and Recchia. And the serve from Ranquillo. As that one's sent into the net by Alexa Milo. And after a few big strikes to start the game, Milo's cooled off a little bit. Now 17-14 for Centennial as Ranquillo will go for another serve. That one well over the net, but playable for the Sting. That one sent long. Nice strike there from Taylor Grant, but just a little too much mustard. And it's about a foot wide of the back line. And Seneca will call their first timeout of the set here with the Colts up 18-14. Now, you got to think that Centennial is loving how this one started, given the 2 pedigrees of these rosters coming into this one. I'm going to step aside for a quick break, but when we come back, we'll finish up the first set here at the Athletic and Wellness Center. Welcome back to Colts Net. I'm Zachary Phillips, and that's the pot and pan you hear at the Athletic and Wellness Center as the Sting come back and off the timeout and get a point back. So The 4-point deficit moves to 3 here as we trickle on down this first set. Serving now for the Sting is Michaela Patras from Stony Plain, Alberta, mentioned earlier. A lot of Alberta natives on this on the Sting roster. As Hamilton plays that one for Rui Malaki and over for the Sting. Big smash there from Alexa Milo, and she's back for the Sting after a quick breather. Just like at the start of this set, Milo hammers that one to the floor and puts the Sting right back in it. Here comes the serve from Michaela Patras again, and it's a beauty. The net tip onto the floor. A couple of those we've seen in this first set. And the Sting right back in it again. Here comes the serve. Job there from Rui Malaki, but unable to get the tip back. Quick tip back there from the Sting, and it's 18-18. Big timeout there from head coach Sabasida in his second year with the Sting, and right out of the little breather, 4 unanswered points, and they're back in it. Third straight serve from Patras, and that one is another ace. So Patras finds some pay dirt, and the Colts will respond with a timeout. So if you're the Sting fans back home, you're going to be loving that quick turnaround, as the Colts will be forced into their first timeout of the set. Centennial features the leading scorer from last year. We mentioned off the top of the broadcast, CL Valeria took over the leading scorer banner last game of last season. She scored her 304th point in the last set to overtake Rachel Odell of Conestoga. So the Colts have some big scorers on their roster in Ranquillo and Valeria. They just have to find some ways to complement them, and they could be looking at a run towards the top of the table this season. This is their, quote, largest recruiting class in years. So very promising days ahead, hopefully, for the Centennial Colts, as we're ready to get back here at the Athletic and Wellness Center in opening day for OCAA women's volleyball and men's volleyball across the province, as the men's team will kick off their season right after this one at 8 p.m. this afternoon. Same building. So after the timeout and a quick discussion with the official, Patras will be back for another serve. Now 5 unanswered points for the Sting. Big hit there for the Colts, and that's Sofia Arujo coming in. She is with her second year with the team. 6'3" middle, comes up big for Centennial there. She'll go back to the line. Ball over. It's played by the Sting. Big smash. Nice dig out there by Arujo. Again, 2 plays in a row. Here, saving plays for the Colts, as that's another great job by Don Ruiz, and some great defense from Centennial. Another attack from the Sting, and that one's by Ranquillo, and it's up. Valeria will try to send it. Oh, big block, Sting. Another try from the Colts. They'll tip it over. A nice diving play. Good rally going. Who's going to come out with the point in this 19-19 game? And it's going to be the Colts and CL Valeria. At the net with the smash, unable to stuff it home, was Emily McDonald, and it will fall down on the Sting side for the Colts point. So now 20-19 as we keep rolling on. Another serve for Arujo. That one's well into the net, and the Sting breathes some more life. So now 20-20. A very close first set to start off the year. That one's kept up by the libero. Smash down, big save by Don Ruiz. But they're unable to come back with the tip from Miu Laurando. Big play by Laurando there. And that'll send Jada Morrow back to the line. Morrow checked into this game. Excuse me, that is Taylor Grant. And a big block, but unable to send it back on the Colts side. That was Emily McDonald again. So back and forth we go. CL Valeria. A big serve off the net tip. And Centennial back on top. We've seen 3 or 4 of those serves just clip the net and fall. The perfect recipe. Now 43 points in this first set. Another one for Valeria, and the Colts pull ahead a little more. And that will be a timeout called by the Seneca Sting. So now down to 2 points until losing the set. They'll take a quick breather, and so will I. I'll be right back here alongside producer Leo Solorzano for the rest of this thrilling first set in a few moments. Welcome back into the Athletic Wellness Center. I'm Zachary Phillips, bringing you women's volleyball action here in Scarborough. Last year's silver medalist, the Seneca Sting, down to the Colts, home Colts, as that one sent long by last year's leading scorer, CL Valeria, in her 4th year. And that brings it back close, 23-22. And we're going to have a check-in here over on the Sting side. That'll bring in Olga Misick back for some size atop the net. Misick listed at 5'11", the tallest Sting on the roster. So that one's dug out by Ranquillo to set the smash, and a nice job there by newly brought in Misick. That smash there from Emily McDonald finds the floor, and it's a 23-23 game. So who's going to take this first set? It's been back and forth. Mostly the Colts out in front, but anytime they try to take a lead, the Sting bring it right back. Here's Alexa Milo, been a big part of this first half for the Sting, as that one ends up on the ground. Unable to keep it up was Taylor Grant. Take a look at the replay through the block of Emily McDonald. Tough play there for Grant. So, match point. Rui Malaki trying to close this first set out. The serve. Handled by the libero. The set. The smash. Blocked at the net. Kept up by Centennial. Here comes Ranquillo. And that finds her down. Jackie Ranquillo smacks it home, and she's fired up. As are the Centennial Colts, who steal the first set away from last year's silver medalists. Big first set from your Centennial Colts. Home crowd loving it here as we'll switch halves. So a 25-23 opening set victory for the Colts. The Sting looked very strong, but big hitters Valeria and Ranquillo doing a lot of the lifting. Newcomers Arujo doing some work up front there for the Colts. Don Ruiz getting some serves in at the start as well, and the Colts got to be happy with their first set victory of the season. Elsewhere in Colts land, we've got a busy day and busy weekend ahead. Currently, the men's baseball team is in Durham taking on the Bulls in baseball playoffs. That one in the top of the seventh. I don't have a score for you, but it will be updated shortly on Colts social media. Later tonight, we have the men's volleyball, as mentioned, starting at 8 o'clock right here at the Athletic and Wellness Center. And tomorrow, we have men's and women's basketball here at the Athletic and Wellness Center. Those two teams, respectively, kicking their season off at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Also, tomorrow night, you won't want to miss the women's soccer team hosting the Algonquin Wolves for their playoff matchup at 7 p.m. It's going to be a really good matchup you won't want to miss right here at Colts Pitch. So we're just about ready to start the second set. When we are ready to get going on the floor, we'll be back here at Coltsnet.
Second set, coming at you now.
Welcome back for the second set here at Athletic and Wellness Center. I'm Zachary Phillips. We have the Centennial Colts up 1-0 now on the Seneca Sting. A big first set victory there for your hometown Colts as they look to win their home opener and season opener here. Friday night volleyball action. And we're still in our first of the doubleheader. Lots more to come here tonight. I missed one game in tomorrow's shout out. Sorry. I said that the women's soccer were hosting Algonquin. They are hosting Humber at 6 p.m. tomorrow at Colts Pitch. As the women's volleyball team gets off to a great start here. Now 1-0 in the second set. Sixth place finishers in last year's OCAA East Division, looking to improve on that this year with, as I mentioned on the broadcast earlier, the largest recruiting class in years. A lot of new faces here for this Colts roster, trying to get a good start to their year. They had a great challenge to do so. Last year's silver medalist Seneca Sting with a lot of returning faces. And they've done a great job here so far. Just one set into it. So a 2-1 Colts lead here early in the first set. Ranquillo back on the line. Huge serve, and it's a powerful one. Handled by the Sting. That one, though, they're not able to do much with, and it will go back over to Centennial. So Ranquillo will try it again. Here comes the serve. Just long. That one just had a little bit too much weight on it. It was a perfectly top spin serve, but just a little too long. And that will go the way of the Sting. Don Ruiz over to Valeria. And that's right in the face of Patras, who can't handle it. Not much you could do with that. And Centennial starting to pull away a little bit. So now on the offense, the libero will check out, bringing in here comes the serve. And that one finds a lot of the net, so it will go the way of the Sting. I mentioned that the Sting had lost to Humber in the gold medal match last year. That was their first medal since 2001. So the Sting looking to build off that and keep it going here this year. Valeria, big fake off for the tip, handled by the Sting. And that one is stuffed back down, but it will be inbound, so it will go the way of Centennial. No, there was two different calls on the floor, so it will be the Sting point, and they will send the ball over. That's Taylor Grant. Take a look at that replay just outside. Not that close. Going the way of the Colts now. Jackie Ring. CL Valeria back there, excuse me. Big serve there. Kept up by Don Ruiz. That's Ava Hamilton over to Rui Malaki. Nice job there from Taylor Grant to keep that one alive. They'll send it over, free ball, but it ends up all the way by the scorer's table. A little bit of miscommunication on the free ball. So another back and forth matchup here in set number 2. Alexa Milo from Black Falls, Alberta. Over to Rui Malaki, just sends it over. That one set up for La Rondeau, but it's handled by the Colts. That time, they send it right back in their face. And I believe it was Emily McDonald with that one. So the Sting pull ahead here for the first time in set number 2. Milo. Nice serve, handled by the Colts. That block is kept alive, but they'll say a net violation. Almost a play along the net there from the Sting. But Centennial pulls back. That one barely handled, but they'll be able to send it over. So the Colts will get a free ball off the serve. And that's Ranquillo with the celebration and the smash. Jackie Ranquillo picking up right where she left off last season. Missiles coming off of the arm. Here's Rui Malaki into the net. We've seen some pretty solid serves from Farana, Rui, Maleki so far, but that one finds a lot of the net, and the Sting will try and respond. That's Emily McDonald, the outside hitter from Sudbury. Somehow kept alive, and the Sting will try and set up a play, but they're unable to get anything going off of that wild net play. So Centennial again, back and forth. That's Ella Nicholas checking in for McDonald. Ella Nicholas listed as a left side from London in her second year. That one's just out. Take a look at the replay, actually. I think they called that inbound, so it will go for the Sting. Close one on the line, but a good call by the official off the look of that replay. That one's way up and into the rafters, somehow clears them, and the Colts will be able to send it over. That went through some pillars atop the Athletic and Wellness Center, but it doesn't matter because it ends up out of bounds on the other side. Almost a hero play there by Rankilo. Now 9-8 for the Sting. That's Laurando. The tip ball a little out of reach there. Rankilo somehow gets that one back across. Here comes the smash, and it finds the dirt. Taylor Grant lets the crowd know. Big Selly there off the big smash. She's fired up, and that will bring out a Colts timeout. So a nice little run there from the Sting will force the hand of Mallory to calm things down. Now 10-8 here in the second set. 1-0 your Colts lead. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Coming out of the timeout there, called by Centennial. A 10-8 game here, a 10-8 set as we work through the second one here. This opening day matchup. Crowd big and loud here at the Athletic and Wellness Center in Scarborough. That one finds the ground, and the Sting pull ahead even more. Down 1-0 here to the Colts, the Sting. Trying to pull their way back. This one up and over. Hamilton puts it up for Don Ruiz. Rojas to smash, but it's stuffed. Olga Misick sends it right back in the face of Rojas. Arujo. It's Sophia Arujo out there, but nonetheless, it ends up on the ground. A little bit of a miscommunication, but I think no one was getting that one. A beautiful serve off the net and to the ground. Tough one there for Centennial. Now a 5-point lead for the Sting. They'll have to stop the bleeding here. They're going to want to get back in this set. Here comes the serve from Laurando. Hamilton almost brings that one back up, but it was a tough one. Nice serve. Come and look at the replay there. Take Hamilton just out of reach, but we get a substitute. That'll bring out Andrea Rojas for Arujo. Rojas in her first year with the Colts program. As that one's up and over the head, but Ranquillo touched it. She got some fingers on it, and it will go back over. Another ace for the Sting. So now almost doubling their lead here in the second set. Off the timeout from Centennial, nothing going. That one easily handled, up by Don Ruiz, over for Ranquillo. A nice block at the net by the Sting, but it's handled by the Colts. Another net play. That one ends up somehow back and forth. Don Ruiz again, this time for Rojas, who's just into the game, but that one is out. Just finding out of bounds. Take a look at the replay here. Don Ruiz over to Rojas, but a couple inches out of bounds. So now it is doubled, 16-8. Hamilton can't handle that one either. So that's a 5 aces in a row in a span of this serve here for La Rondeau. Colts falling apart on defense here, unable to find any communication off these serves. Mallory will call another timeout. So a tough stretch of play from the Colts, who looked very solid to start this one. A few points go the way of the Sting back-to-back. I believe 10 unanswered points for the Sting. And two Colts timeouts lead. One Colts timeout leads to nothing. Let's see where this second one goes. Centennial, a real shift in play we've seen in the last couple minutes from how they started this game. They're going to have to really turn it around heading into this one. So it's 18-8 in the second set. A quick timeout there for the Colts. We'll stick around. Just a quick floor scrub. I mentioned the Colts don't play again until next Saturday. The women's volleyball team will travel to Algonquin on the road. So a week off before the road trip to Ottawa for the women's volleyball team. Meanwhile, the Seneca Sting will head to George Brown on Wednesday of this week for a clash with the Huskies. So that's what's up next for these two clubs. But right now they've got a few more sets to go here in the opening day of the OCAA. Seneca trying to even this one up at 1. Here comes another serve from La Rondeau. And that one is long. So the Colts get the ball back and stop a 10-point run by the Sting. Going to be Don Ruiz back to serve. Don Ruiz is listed as a setter. Big jump serve, but calling a misformation, I believe, on the side of the Sting. So we'll get a quick explanation from the coach. He's just trying to see who it was. Yeah. So she just was out of pace a little bit. I'll get a number for you on that in a second. But the call will go the way of the Colts. Here comes the serve again from Don Ruiz, handled by the Sting. That's the libero, Nicholas, excuse me. That one unfortunately finds its way out. They're going to say it hit the net. They're going to try and argue that one off the net. Let's take a look at the replay. And they're going to have a discussion over it. We'll see if we can get another look at that. Here it is. Big smash from Valeria. They're going to say it might have hit the... I'm not sure if they're going over the hands of number 6, if it went off of her, if it touched the hands of her. And we'll get the call. And they will give it to Centennial. So off the tip, it will be Colts point, and a big one at this point of the game. Instead of 19-10, it's 18-11. So Don Ruiz will throw another one back up for the Colts. You see the bench getting into it. A little bit of a rough stretch for Centennial. They're hoping to pull their way out of it. The tip ball blocked by Valeria. Try to again, but that's kept by Ranquillo. Back to Valeria, and it just powered through the net front presence of the Sting. Take a look at the replay. There's just nothing you can do. A lot of mustard on that from Valeria, and she led the league for a reason. One of the Colts' best at driving the ball. So Don Ruiz will try to pull the Colts all the way back from being down 10. Now 18-12. That one's handled over by Grant. Grant gets the smash, and she put a lot behind that one. Big boom there, and it'll put a little bit of the momentum back in the Sting's favor. Nice job there from Taylor Grant. It's been Grant and Milo carrying the offensive weight so far for the Sting. Seen some big smashes from both of them. Here comes the serve. That's Ranquillo putting it up for Rui Malaki. Awkward smash for Valeria, but gets it over. Here comes back from Grant. Nice job there from the Colts to keep it up. Back over to Valeria. At the net, it's blocked. Put back across, and then re-tipped back. Crazy sequence there. Here comes Grant again. Nice job by Rui Malaki, but that will end up all the way over. And Grant with another big smack. It's 20-12. So Taylor Grant finding her stride over there on the left side of the court. It's been lethal for the Sting in these last few sets. Last few rallies, excuse me. That one well into the net, unfortunately, for the Sting, as Hart Fortuno, with her first serve of the day, I believe, puts that one into the net. Be another sub for the Sting. That'll take out Fortuno and bring in back to libero Emmy Nicholas. Big Ranquillo serve, as that one ends up back in the Colts' favor. They couldn't handle the serve and ended up into the net. So nice job there from Centennial, slowly crawling their way back in this set. It's still 20-14 for the Sting, but it was, as mentioned, a 10-point lead. Handled by the Sting. There's Milo back. That one's got to go over. Free ball for the Colts. Hamilton to Don Ruiz. Over to Rui Malaki. Just long. Just a little bit too much on that. We'll take a look at the replay here, as immediately Ranquillo went and talked to her captain, Valeria, to go over to the official to see if there was something else on that play, but that one did look to go a little long. Nice play from Centennial. Just a little bit too much mustard from Rui Malaki, and it's 21-14. That one ends up off the pole, so a mishandled serve will put this back to an 8-point lead for the Sting. Ranquillo will come out for a breather, and that'll check in Katie Deering in her first year with the Colts, so touching the floor for the first time in a Centennial uniform. Katie Deering from Claremont, graduated from Uxbridge Secondary School. Here comes Valeria. Block that one, she says. Absolute bomb. Valeria trying to bring the Colts back. So it will send Andrea Rojas to the line, another Colt in her first action. That one, it got a lot of the net and the pull. That will go the way of the Colts, and still hanging around in this set. Sting trying to tie this one up at 1, up by 6. Colts. The serve. Nicholas over, and that's out just a little bit by Alexa Milo. Take a look at the replay. She just pulled it a little bit. Good replay there from our crew. And that will send back Andrea Rojas. Unfortunately, that one's a little low into the net. The libero Hamilton and captain will check back on for some defense. Down 6, 23, serving 17. Sting trying to get to match point. That's kept up. Valeria, good job by the Sting to keep that one up. The smash returned at the net. Here comes another one from LaRondo, kept alive by Dawn Ruiz. They'll have to send it over. Free ball basically for Seneca. It's McDonald over across to LaRondo. She'll have to tip it. Nice play by Hamilton to keep it up. Rui Malecki will send it. Good rally going here between these two teams. Here comes Taylor Grant. And a good job by the middle of the Colts. I believe that's Kristen Recchia with the block. And she puts a stop to the hot hand of Taylor Grant, who was looking to find another kill in this second set. Here's Valeria. Big spot for Centennial, but puts it into the net. If Centennial wanted to come back into this one, they needed that point, and it's now 24-18, and Milo will serve for the Sting. Trying to tie this one up at one set apiece. Here's the serve. That's Dawn Ruiz over to Rui Malaki, and she keeps it alive with the kill, but it's kept up by the Sting. And LaRondo lets them know as she smacks that one home for the set. Great response there from the Seneca Sting after dropping a close first one. They take this one 25-18, and we're knotted at one here. And the opening day of OCAA women's volleyball. So, back and forth we go all evening long. We'll step aside for a quick break before set number 3, but when we come back, we'll see if the Colts can respond to the pushback by the Sting. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Colts Net. I'm Zach Phillips alongside producer Leo Solorsano. We've got a great one underway here between the Centennial Colts and the Seneca Sting. Sting last year's silver medalists in the OCAA. Looking to improve on that. Meanwhile, the Colts finished 6th in the East. Have a whole new look roster trying to do better things this year, as this one goes out and off the hands, and the Sting will start up 1-0. The first set saw a back and forth affair, a very close one that saw the Colts mostly out in front with the Sting responding until Centennial finally pulled out in front and closed it off 25-23. But in set number 2, things kind of fell apart for the Colts, and the Sting had a 10-point run and ended up closing that one out by a wide margin. So already up 2-0 here in the third set. The Colts got some stop the bleeding to do, as that one is another one just off the net, off the floor. So a tough break there for Centennial, and they find themselves down 3 already. On the floor for the Colts, Hamilton, Valeria, Rui Malaki, Renkilo, Rojas, and Don Ruiz. Meanwhile, for the Sting, it's Emily McDonald, Michaela Patras, Olga Misick, Emmy Nicholas, Taylor Grant, and Mayu LaRondo. As that one goes the Colts' way, and they're pulling themselves back. It's 3-2. So after a great start from the Colts, starting to slip a little away from them, but now just 3-2 here in the third set. They're going to try to take the lead. Dug out by the libero. Set over for Taylor Grant, who has been lethal for Seneca in the second set. She is on a heater. Olga Misick, in her second year with the program from Richview Collegiate Institute here in Toronto. That one smashed into the net by Milo, and the Colts will stay with this one. Great job there by Centennial. Rankilo back for the serve, as the Sting try to organize themselves on D. Big smash coming from Rankilo. She actually just lays this one up. Played over by Grant. Hamilton back. Rankilo's just going to have to send it. Basic free ball over for Grant. And again, she's fired up. And so is LaRondo. Rightfully so. This Sting team is hot offensively right now. Patras back for the serve. She does it all for the Sting, listed as a setter, a libero, a left side. Now doing some serving. Stony Plain, Alberta native. One of 4 Alberta natives on this team, one from Manitoba, representing the West Coast. As that one is a point for Centennial on the ace. And just like that, it's 5-5. That's Andrea Rojas back there. 5'7" middle. Been having a good debut with Centennial. Played by the libero into the net, Nicholas. Tough one there by the Sting, and Centennial's got their first lead of the third set off back-to-back aces by Andrea Rojas. Other newcomers on this Colts team include Grace Dockstader, Kristen Recchia, Catherine Scoffich, Kristen Don Ruiz, Andrea Rojas, Katie Deering, Zoe Acosta, Charlotte Duwapaner. So a lot of new faces in for Centennial as Taylor Grant sends that one over. Toughly handled by Rui Malaki, but able to be sent over for a free ball. Look out, here comes McDonald with the tip. Off the hand and out of bounds, so it will be Sting point. despite the celebration on the Colts side. So now a 7-6 game and another back and forth early start of the set. Taylor Grant back to do damage. That one's floated wide, unfortunately, and the Colts will get the ball back and send Valeria to the line. That one is fired, but into the net. And right back over for the Sting. Now Milo. Milo and Grant have been doing a lot of heavy lifting for the Sting. We've called Emily McDonald a lot for some blocks as well. Seem to be the key 3 players so far for the Sting. But all 6 on the floor seem to be clicking right now. As that one sent just long by the Colts. Really close, but no cigar. And it's 10-7 now for the Sting. Excuse me, 9-7. They had already got that point up there. Here comes Milo again. That one sent again, just inches long. Tough breaks for Centennial. And they Sting are pulling away here in the third set. Here comes the serve. Great read, but it actually ends up being in. So Hamilton let that one go thinking it was going to be long, and so did I up here in the booth. But it actually falls in with just enough topspin. So a beautiful serve by Alexa Milo. Tough break there again for Centennial, a big ace. That one much shorter, but right in front of Ranquillo. And another back-to-back ace. As Alexa Milo doing some damage again for the Sting. Centennial will readjust their defensive positioning for this one. Now 3 in the middle, 1 behind. Kept up and sent right into the net by Kristen Recchia. And Mallory will be forced into another timeout. So a 13-7 lead for the Sting, who have taken control of the game since midway through the second set. But the Colts are hanging around, and off the timeout, we'll see if they can come back and make this third set even closer when we come back. Welcome back into the Athletic and Wellness Center. There seems to be a bit of a conversation going on between the officials, and a yellow card was shown. See if we can get an explanation for you. And anyway, Not sure what that was about, but it's 13-7 for the Sting. And the serve comes over. Ooh, a tricky little play there from Don Ruiz, but it's snuffed out by the Sting. But the Colts will get the point out of it. Take a look at the replay here. That one just tipped out of bounds. But Don Ruiz with a sly little tip over off the set almost caught Seneca sleeping. And it's now a 5-point Colts lead, Sting lead. And that one ends up falling down. Take a look at the replay. Big smash there from Recchia. So we have an update from men's baseball in Sarnia. The men's Centennial Colts just dropped game 2 of the playoffs to the Durham Lords by a score of 4-1. As that one is drilled down for the Colts, and they're right back in this one. So the men's baseball team drops 4-1 to the Lords as they'll move on into playoffs. Double knockout there, so they still have a loss to play with. Here comes the serve from Rui Malaki, as it's a good one. No communication over on the Sting side, and it's off Grant and out of play. And it's 13-11. Colts clawing their way back off the timeout. Rui Malaki. Valeria puts that one into the net after a bit of a miss jam. So Seneca will head back to the line. This time it'll be Emily McDonald. And they'll call Don Ruiz on the net violation, I believe, going up. So before they can even set anything up, the point goes the way of Seneca. And McDonald will do it again. That time she finds a lot of the net. And Centennial will get the ball back. That'll check in Ella Nicholas for Emily McDonald. She'll go out for a breather. Recchia to serve. Handled by Nicholas. Over for LaRondo, but handled by the Colts. Set back for Valeria, somehow kept alive at the net. Good set by Don Ruiz. And it's too powerful for the Sting to block. Almost kept up. You're going to win a second touch anyway on Missick. And Recchia will serve again down 2. Sent over quickly by Patras. And the second year gets it done. LaRondo back to serve. Job by Hamilton. Don Ruiz sneaks it over. And that one's hammered by Taylor Grant, but it is out. Take a look at the replay, see where that one lands. Just out of bounds. Great look there from the crew. And Centennial still hanging around in this set. Don Ruiz. 5'3" from Scarborough. St. John Paul II. Collegiate Secondary School. Rogers, sorry, that's Grant again. Taylor Grant has been all over the floor for the Sting in this one. Centennial's going to have to get some blockers over where she's at if they're going to stay in this. She has been decimating the defense since midway through the second set. Hamilton plays it up for Dawn Ruiz. Over to Valeria. Big smash there, and Valeria says, I can do it too. But I think she ends up into the net. Take a look at the replay, and she does fall just into the net. I don't think that was called out. So it will be still a 4-point lead, 18-14. And that's Hart Fortuno serving for the Sting as it ends up back on the Sting side. Grant again. It's been Taylor Grant today for the Sting. And she's fired up. She's been racking up the kills here on day one in the OCAA regular season opener. Hamilton, Dawn Ruiz. Back for Ranquillo. They try something new, and this time it works. They go to the other side of the floor, and Ranquillo smashes this one home off of many hands. And that'll send her back to the line. A substitution on the Sting side of the ball, bringing back in the libero. So Ranquillo to serve. 19-15. Handled by the Sting over. Kept alive by the Colts. That's Valeria. She'll just smack it. Kept alive by the Sting. Sent over, free ball Centennial. Dawn Ruiz. Valeria punches it, and it's kept alive by the Sting. Dawn Ruiz will put it up. Ranquillo puts it over to Valeria, who smashes handled. Great rally going here. Grant's going to have to send it over. Hamilton will set it. Rui Malaki will come across the court, but it's handled again. Here comes the smash, and it's good. Mayu Larondeau off the big rally. And the Sting bench is fired up, and so is their crowd. Take a look at this replay. As we just see the tail end of it, but a nice effort by Hamilton to try to keep it up. Unable to do so. And it'll be a timeout Centennial. So 20-15 for the Sting off a great rally. Forces Mallory into another timeout. And when we come back from the break, Centennial's going to be trying to come back from down 5 in the third set. Welcome back for the third set here in Scarborough. I'm Zach Phillips alongside producer Leo Solorzano. And the serve is underway, unable to be handled by the Colts. And it's now 21-25 for the Sting up on Centennial. It's 1-1 here in the third set. Opening day of OCAA women's volleyball. Here comes the serve. Handled by Hamilton. Just smashed right down at the net by Milo. And the Sting are running away with this set. 3 points away from the victory here in set number 3. It's a close beginning to set 3, but the Sting have been pulling away with it after some big plays by Taylor Grant. Here's Valeria. Big play of her own. Finds pay dirt. That one hammered through for the kill by last year's OCAA leading scorer. So Charlotte Duwapenair will come in for Andrea Rojas, another Colt in her first year. This will be her first time seeing the floor in a Colts jersey. Here comes the serve. And it's a good one. Handled by the libero. Milo blocked at the net by Recchia. Here's McDonald. She'll just try to punch it over, but fails to do so, putting it into the net. So Duwapenair, in her first serve, in her first action, ends up in a point for Centennial. Duwapenair from Toronto, graduated from East York Collegiate. That one's stuffed right at the net by Recchia. Big play. She's had a few of those here already, making her presence felt by the Colts in her first game as well. We've talked a lot about tonight on the cast that this is a lot of new faces, the most the Colts have seen, and they're stepping up here so far. Despite being down in this third set, though, they need 4 more to bring it back. It's 22-18. And they do it. They get another one. Let's see here. Let's see who the point is. It's going to go the way of the Colts, so now 3 unanswered as they are starting to charge their way back into this one. Duwapenair, listed as a libero, will likely be moving around a little bit. Here's the serve. Barely handled by the Sting, and it's going to end up out of bounds. So now that's 4 unanswered for the Colts, and just like that, it's 22-20. First real misplay we've seen in a minute by the Sting, and that'll force them into a timeout. So the charge back out of their own timeout brings it to 22-20 for Centennial, just trailing by 2. So when we come back from this brief break, we'll have the rest of set number 3 in a couple seconds. Welcome back to the third set. Charlotte Duwapenair out to serve again for the Colts, as that one sailed a little long, unfortunately, for Centennial. And off the 5-point run, they'll send the ball back over, and it will be Taylor Grant to serve. So a 23-20 third set. Rui Malaki, Don Ruiz, Valeria, and Pater. 21 points now for the Colts as they're trying to fight their way back. They've done a good job keeping the damage mitigated, so when they can go on a run, they're right back in it. Valeria crossed. Milo handles it for McDonald, but it's blocked, but they're able to handle it. LaRondo handled by Hamilton, as Valeria will just send that one long. Off the set from Don Ruiz. Just a little too much mustard. Here comes the serve from Milo. Don Ruiz, Rui Malaki, stuffed. And that sends the Sting to match point and the victory. So after dropping the first set to the Colts, the Sting take sets 2 and 3 off of 8 and 10 point runs. And the Colts will come back trying to preserve this one to 5 and final set. When we come back, the defending silver medalists taking on last year's 6th place in the East. We've had a banger match so far. We'll see what we have when we come back. Welcome back for the 4th set here. Opening day for OCAA volleyball, both men's and women's, across Ontario. Many games getting underway at all the colleges. It's a great time of year for college athletics. Basketball, volleyball, both getting underway. Baseball and soccer in playoffs as this point goes the way of the Colts off the rip. Centennial down 2-1 after taking the first one. They dropped the second one after a 10-point run by the Sting. And much similar result in the third set, but it was a little closer throughout, but the Sting ended up capping that one off as well. Taylor Grant and Alexa Milo have been carrying the weight here offensively for the Sting. Emily McDonald has been blocking well at the net. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it's been CL Valeria and Jackie Ranquillo, with first-year Kristen Recchia doing some work at the net, blocking some of the Sting. So it's now 2-1 Seneca as we work our way in this 4th set. I mentioned a few times on the cast that the Sting are last year's silver medalists. A big test here for Centennial on opening day. They did a great job out of the gate, but the Sting showed their muscles so far in sets 2 and 3. As Centennial tries to fight their way back. Not done yet, though. 2-2 here in this 4th set. Lots of volleyball to play. As Jackie Ranquillo serves for the Colts. That one's sailed wide, and the ball will go back over to the Sting. Men's team, you can see warming up upstairs there. They're getting set to host the Sting as well. It should get underway just after 8 p.m. As that one falls to the dirt and will go the way of Seneca. Back serving is Patris. That is a solid game for Seneca. That one just over the net as well. The net tips have been going the way of the Sting here so far. We've seen the Colts get burned by that many times. As it's now 5-2. Good job by Rui Malaki, but that goes all the way back over, set up and smashed by the Sting, but a nice job by Hamilton to dig that out. They're going to call Rui Malaki on a double touch, I believe. Yep. So a nice job trying to get it across for the kill for Valeria, but gets called on the double touch. So another serve for Patris. That one's over. Again, unable to be handled cleanly by Rui Malaki. And the Colts will try and lock it back in here, now down 7-2 in the 4th set. That one back over the net again, but this time it comes to Centennial immediately, but Arujo is going to have to send it over free. Look out, Taylor Grant. That time it's kept up by the Colts. Good work there by Centennial. Oh, a great job by Taylor Grant, somehow kept alive, but they're going to say it hit the floor. We'll take a look at the replay here, see what actually happened. As, yeah, it did hit the floor off the initial, but a nice effort there by Emmy Nicholas flying in. If it had been kept up by Taylor Grant. So Centennial finally gets a big block on one of Taylor Grant's big kills, and it couldn't have come at a bigger time. As that one unable to be handled by Laurando, ends up over by the Seneca bench, and Arojo will head back to the line for her second serve in a row. That one just barely touches the net, but not too much there for Nicholas. As, my goodness, Milo absolutely hammers that one, and Ranquillo can't do much with it. We've seen some big kills by this tandem of Grant and Milo. Good job by Ranquillo. Kept alive by Don Ruiz, but sent over pretty freely. And the Sting will just touch it home and double their lead again, now 9-4. So that will draw a substitution over on the Colts half of the court. Katie Deering, another one of those first years joining the Colts this season. She's already checked in once, but checking back in here for Centennial. It's going to be one of Mallory's big key roles moving into the earlier part of this season, is integrating those rookies into the lineup and seeing what combinations work and what combinations need to be tweaked, as he's going to look for a little bit of explanation on the call there. And it's going to be the way of the Sting. Valeria is just going to relay the message there from Mallory to see if there's anything the officials can discuss. Just a little bit about the blocking. I can see his hand signals. And they're just going to chat about it. ultimately the official disagreeing with what Mallory had to say, but a pretty civil conversation nonetheless. And that will send Taylor Grant to serve. Look out, Valeria. Oh, absolute bomb by Valeria right at Emily McDonald. Not much she could do with that. A lot of heavy hitters in this volleyball game. Between Rankilo, Valeria, Grant, and Milo, we've seen some hard kills this afternoon. That one, a nice little tip over, and they're going to look at each other to see whose point it is, and it will be the head umpire pointing the way of the Colts. You see them both with a little look like, ugh. But off the replay, it does look to fall in. Good job there from the crew. Valeria to serve. Hammers that one. Nicholas handles it barely. That'll set up Laurando, but the block by Recchia. And a big one as Centennial's trying to hang around in this set. Here comes the serve from Milo. Rankilo. Don Ruiz. Over for Katie Deering, who drives it home. Some of her first points as a Centennial Colt, and she'll go back to serve. Big kill there by Deering, mentioned from Claremont, 5'7", listed as an outside hitter. Comes the serve. Not enough height under that one, unfortunately. Finds the middle of the net, and it's now 12-7 for the Sting. It'll be Emily McDonald to serve. Hamilton puts it up. Dawn Ruiz sets it. Just at a time with Recchia, and she's unable to do anything with it. It will end up going to the floor. Just a little bit of missed timing. You see Mallory coaching up Recchia off that little mis-execution there, but Recchia's had a great game on the front line for the Colts already. So that one will go Centennial's favor. And it will be Recchia to serve. Nice one. A beautiful serve with the spin. Take a look at this replay. For the ace, picks her spot and fires it home. Great serve there. 13-9 now for the Sting. Colts trying to work their way back in the set and the game. As unable to handle that one is Nicholas. Take a look at the replay. It's a big serve there from Recchia. It didn't look like much live, but when you take a look at the replay, that spin coming in, it's a big ball. Here it comes again. That time it's handled much easier by Nicholas. And a little bit of miscommunication and a misjam at the net by Rankilo. Seneca will get the ball back. Laurando been pretty effective for Seneca today. Sends it over. Nice job there by Arujo. Uh-oh. Taylor Grant. She has been murdering the ball today, and when she goes up for it, you can see it coming. Another one coming down hard. And the Sting starting to pull away thanks to Taylor Grant. Great read by Ava Hamilton there. letting that one fly out of bounds. Nice job there by the captain of the Colts. Centennial hanging around consistently in this set, just as the Sting look to potentially start to run away with it. A few points go the Colts' way, and they're right back in it. We'll see how it continues, as somehow that one's kept alive but sent way too free over for Centennial. Here comes Ranquillo. Big smash there. Take a look at the replay. They say it gets the hand and will go the way of Centennial. Good job by Jackie Ranquillo answering Taylor Grant and her big kills on the other side. The Sting travel well. The crowd here in the visiting section, very packed with pots, pans, drums, horns, you name it. Same thing for the Centennial side. Very packed house here on opening day. Sting pull ahead one more. Hart Fortuno sends that one up. And dunked down by Grant again. Now 17-12 as we're inching on, and that'll force Mallory into a timeout. Colts are on the brink here at the AWC in the first game of their regular season. When we come back, it's 2-1 sets, 17-12 for the Sting. Can Centennial crawl their way back? Welcome back. Here comes the serve. Handled by Hamilton for Ranquillo. Kept alive again by Ranquillo after Rogers sent it back. And that was Deering trying to send it back off of a little bit of a misplay. It finds the net. And it's now 18-12 for the Sting. So we're back underway in the fourth set off the Colts timeout. Down 6, trying to fight their way back. It's do or die time. Down 2-1. Weirdly handled by Deering, and it's going to fall in for a point. Take a look at this replay. It might have fallen out, but they call it in, and off the initial reaction to just try to punch it up, it's going to fall for a point, and Deering will take it however they come. As will Centennial, down 5. Ranquillo. Kept up by Seneca. Here comes Rogers, just floats this one over. It was out of reach. They'll try again. This time it's Milo, do the same thing, just a little floater. This time, bang. C.L. Valeria finds the floor for the Colts with a big smash there. Now just a 4-point game. Ranquillo back again for Centennial. It's who they want serving in this moment with the game on the brink. Here it comes. Should have kept my mouth shut. I might have jinxed Jackie a little bit there. I apologize. The announcer's jinx coming in, as that will go right over to the Sting. So 19-14, 6 points away from their first victory. Seneca and server Michaela Patras. Nice job, Hamilton, but unable to keep it up was Don Ruiz. Just a little too far in front of Ava Hamilton. And they're going to check in Hamilton out. And that's going to bring in Catherine Scoffich in her first time with the Colts this season. The 5'5" Thunder Bay native is in there for the Colts, and that one's going to fall in and bring out another timeout going the way of Centennial. So it's 21-14 moving on in this one. The Colts, as mentioned, won the first set, and it was a very back and forth affair with Centennial leading most of the way through. The second set came around, much the same, but come midway through, the Sting went on a 10-point run and really put a stamp on it. And as the third set rolled around, much the same story, as a close back and forth set started out with a lot of points going to both sides, but the Sting ran away with it again at the end. This time in the fourth set, it's been all Sting, with the Colts barely hanging around, and now down facing the loss here with 4 points to go. See Ranquillo giving some encouragement to rookie Duwapenair, who's going to check in from the back. So on the court for Centennial is Deering, Scoffich, Duwapenair, Valeria, Don Ruiz, and Arujo. And check that. Oh, they're going to do the official swap here, so it's just for the officials. So that's the 6 on the floor for Centennial as they try to stay alive. For the Sting, it's Patras to serve. Another one falling just in front of the libero of the Colts. The Sting have done a great job serving today. I wish I had an exact number of aces because there have been a ton. And that will do another libero swap, so we'll see Hamilton check back in immediately after one play. That time, Hamilton digs it out. Over by Deering. Great job by the libero, Nicholas. Big smash, Grant, and Valeria and Arujo send that one right back in her face. Taylor Grant in her office, but that time denied. Great job by Centennial staying alive, as that would have pushed it to 23-15. Arujo's made some key blocks so far for the Colts. She sends it over. Here comes Emily McDonald. That one's just going to have to be played easily. Valeria just fired out of bounds. That'll push it 23-15 Sting. And the Colts needed that one. Just a few inches long. Too much juice coming in from CL Valeria. And Taylor Grant goes to the line, trying to win it for the Sting. Don Ruiz to Recchia. Bang! On the line in. Centennial staying alive. Good job by Kristen Recchia. 6'2" middle, has been having a great debut for the Colts. Here comes Valeria with the serve. High smash, handled nicely by LaRondo. Get it back, kill it right at Hamilton, who handles it nicely. That's Deering off the net, and Rogers comes up with it. Over to LaRondo. It'll be a free ball for the Colts. Hamilton to Don Ruiz. Here's Recchia again. Just a little out of touch, but she's able to get it over. Don Ruiz back to Valeria, but again out of line, but it's hit hard enough and way out of reach. Nice effort by Taylor Grant, but she wasn't even close. And Centennial staying alive. It's not over yet. Now a 6-point game. Valeria to serve again. Here it comes. And it goes off the fingertips and way out of bounds. So now match point, game point, and set point. for the Sting. Here comes the serve from Milo. Handled by the Colts. Donna Reese. Recchia smashed, but it's stuffed by Sting, and Missick sends it back into the Colts' face for the win. And 1-0 start for the season. Seneca Sting. A good effort, though, by the Colts here today in their home opener, taking the first set from a dominant Seneca squad, but just unable to finding any consistency as the game moved on. Perhaps Seneca got a little settled in, and that's when they just really took off with this game after the first set. But good effort nonetheless by the Colts, who will fall to 0-1 in this OCAA season and head to Algonquin next Saturday on the road trip to Ottawa for their second game of the season. Meanwhile, Seneca will head to George Brown Wednesday night to take on the Huskies and try to improve to 2-0. So in about a half an hour time, we'll have the men's game as the Colts host the Sting. We'll be right back momentarily with introductions for the home opener and first game in the men's side. For Leo Solorsano, producer, I'm Zach Phillips. That was a great first game in women's volleyball, 23-24 action. We'll be back with more on Coltsnet.